30th anniversary UPC this, 30th anniversary UPC that. Yeah, let everybody focus on those, and I will be too, I'm sure. But while the attention's on those, I've got a UPC that I think would be a nice pickup if you've not got it in your collection. So everybody knows this one, right? The Charizard UPC that is... People went nuts for this. People were kicking children in queues and all that sort of stuff. Just get their hands on a Charizard UPC. It was great. It had Phantasmal Flames packs, Mega Evolution, Destined Rivals, those amazing promos. I am not saying that's a bad pickup at all, but one that got overlooked, and in America it was a GameStop exclusive, is this one. The Team Rocket's Moltres UPC. Now look, this is definitely one of my more controversial takes, and I'd feel a lot more comfortable if you'd picked this up at retail. However, I didn't. I'm about £240 in on this UPC myself. So I'm at the same sort of level I'd be advising you guys, because let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. This is an expensive UPC. If you can still pick it up for around 250 quid. 260 is mainly what you're looking at. I wouldn't expect this to be massively affected by the Destined Rivals upcoming reprint, because there's another elephant in the room we'll get to in terms of the packs inside it, where you're going, what is this man on about? But just go with me on this. If you're in the States, the market on it is around that 350 mark. Coming back down, there has been a slight curve. We are in the slightest of dips for this premium collection. As you can see, it's risen pretty much since March, peaking in May to June, and we have got a slight downward trend as we hit this August start. And they always say buy the dip, don't they? Now, this shot up rapidly when people realized how hard these were to get hold of. Yes, there are scalpers in America just keeping loads of these in a room, but that's always going to be the case. They're always going to make money, unfortunately. But they were selling for about 30 quid to 40 quid over retail in the first month or so. Then if we hit around May time, we are looking at bang. We had a spike of some people paying nearly 300 quid for them because they bought too early. A few people around that were also getting them for around the 260 mark. So there was definitely a peak as we entered June. And then we hit July and August, going around that 250 with some sales around the 220 mark. However, they are torn seals, etc. So a sealed one was averaging around that 250 mark where we see it now, which is why I think it's probably the time to buy as it settles. Again, if you want it. I'm going to have to get used to this advice thing. The safer bet, I would say, of course, is the Charizard UPC that people were fighting over. It's about 178 quid-ish on the market, or $220 to 250. It varies a little bit on that market. Again, this is a safer pickup if you're quick flipping or long term because the amount of Phantasmal Flames packs in it, etc. But I actually think the Moltres UPC is a better pickup for its packs long term. Now you're going to go, why? When I show you this. Only 2 Destined Rivals. That is the kick in the proverbials that I think people are going, I don't want anything to do with that UPC. Destined Rivals is the only good set, in quotation marks, in there. That is actually not the pack weight. I could only find the image, this image for the purpose of this. But I will tell you the English version of this UPC has 2 Destined Rivals, 4 Journey Together, 4 Surging Sparks, and 6 Twilight Masquerade. Now, I think of UPCs as a long-term hold thing for myself, because I'm probably never going to get rid of mine anyway. But I look at these sets and I think, hang on, what is this going to look like at the end of the Winds and Wave era when we look back on sets like Twilight Masquerade with that massive Greninja in there that's starting to gain popularity? With Surging Sparks, that's of course got the Pikachu, the Latias and Latios connecting art in there. And then, of course, you do still have the 2 chase packs of Destined Rivals for your Mewtwo's, etc. And Journey Together, a notoriously slept-on set. It's great for the latter half of this block. And the promos, the promos, the promos. You do get stamped versions of these promos. And I actually think the stamped version of these promos are rarer, that especially the full art and the EX, they are rarer than the cards themselves in Destined Rivals. The SIR will have only been in every printed UPC. Destined Rivals is having another reprint in August 2026, which means this card, again, it'll be hard to hit, but there will be more variants of the standard SIR and these EXs and these full arts than there is the stamped versions, which means even though it's only about 363 quid in a tent, again, if you've got the money for a singles pickup, that also might be a good shout, people will chase this stamped promo down the line, making it insane. And I think that's the saviour of this UPC. I think that's what not a lot of people look at, that I saw the Sword and Shield UPC get discounted to about £80 after people bought out the initial wave because Pokemon kept printing it. Even though we know hit rates aren't necessarily good if you were in the hobby at that time in that, they've gone silly money. And yes, it's got a Zard on it, but again, it was 3 solid promos with the Charizard promos you could find in them. Genuinely, even the Terrapagos UPC is reselling for a decent enough price, and I think that's the worst UPC ever made in terms of the promos. I'm sorry. The packs, however, are the reason for that. UPCs are like a nice big chunk of a block. For example, Stellar Crown was big for the Terrapagos UPC. This set goes into the other end of the block. There's also 2 Mega Evolution packs. I forgot to mention that. So it's the end of the Scarvi era block and into the new Mega block. So it's Mega Evolution base set, which again, I think will do really well over time because everybody was going, oh, Phantasmal Flames is coming out. Let's skip over this amazing set. And did I mention you get an amazing playmat as well, which is really, really cool. And that's just if you open it. So I think if you have the disposable income, it's not the biggest of UPCs. It fits quite nicely on a shelf. If I could give you this week's advice on a pickup, it would be the Moltres UPC. And maybe keep an eye on it for when the Destined Rivals reprint happens, because if it doesn't fluctuate in price over the next month, I think it's definitely a time to buy in this dip. Look, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who likes keeping shiny cardboard sealed. I think that's a pickup that's gone overlooked. And whatever you think about the packs or anything like that, if you want one, grab one while they're still achievable. Because I don't think that's going to get a reprint. And I put my money where my mouth is, I bought it. So just a heads up, if you fancy one of those, grab one now. We have a Patreon that helps fund the content and shiny cardboard, so a big thank you to all our Patreons and of course our credited tier on Patreon and user Zhao Mei. Your support keeps the shiny cardboard lights on. Are there any products you think that are currently going under the radar? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you in the next video.